Today in this video, we're going to take a look at the new additions and new features that is available for the Dxo Photolab 8. So it's going to be nice and quick and rapid, I assure you that. Just to make sure that I have all the images available to make sure that I can show you all the images necessary. So in this case, let's try out with this image. For example, if you go to the customize, and then on the top you have this new loop tool. So the loop tool, basically when you click it, it finally will show you the changes of your raw file. Let me demonstrate that for a bit. So let's change the image. In that case, probably this is not the ideal image to show you the differences. So I'm going to go back to a noisy image, for example. That is actually a perfect example to show you the benefit of this amazing tool, because in past you had to look at the little corner on the side that is kind of not the best in order to see the effect immediately. It takes some time, but it's very effective. So this is a noisy photo. We're going to do some quick, nice and quick edit. For example, a little bit of exposure change. Let's see. So you can actually make it even bigger if you want to, which is amazing. And then the best thing is that you can see the direct effect of noise reduction. So I'm going to turn on the noise reduction Dxo Prime XD2, and it takes some time. You can see that full preview in progress. So that's one benefit, obviously. So it might take some time, and you can see that the noise are gone. So let's do that before and after. So you can finally see the effects in real time. And that's obviously not just a noise reduction, but any kind of effect such as sharpening. You don't need to zoom in completely. So now that we are in the noise reduction side, so that brings us back to the second new feature, which is the addition of Dxo D Prime XD2S. So Dxo D2S is always available, was available for pure raw, and now it's integrated to the newest version of the Dxo Photolab 8. Just bear in mind that unfortunately, if I remember correctly, it's not available for the Fujifilm or any X-Trans camera, which is Fujifilm and I think the Ricoh GR. Right, so now that we covered the first new tool, the loop tool, and second new tool, which is the D Prime XD2S, so we are out of two particular changes. Now let's go back to our photo library and select a new image, for instance. So this is a good image. I'm going to explain you why. So obviously, just a quick overview. I'm not going to make the video too long, because we don't have time. Life is too short for, honestly, the bullshit. Excuse my language. And now we're going to go to the tone curve. In tone curve, so we have the new tone curve, which is essentially you turn it on, then you have this little tone picker. Let's read it out loud. The tone curve now features an added Luma channel. So we have one added Luma channel, first of all, and the added tone picker. So several UI enhancement. Let's see what that means. So if you go to the preset, so you have this preset in the bracket or in the parenthesis, you have this RGB, RGB, RGB. So it affects the whole Luma channel and Chroma channel, or in a simple language, color and light. Now we have exact same contrast, but without affecting the RGB, and it just only affect the color. The light. Let me demonstrate without any preset. So you have this RGB, right? So then you have this R. So R, essentially, you add more light or you reduce the more red, and it gives you the opposite color, which is green. Green, it does the same thing, but the opposite direction. Less green, more green. Blue, right? Less blue, more blue, right? So you have this in the overall, as usual, if you're aware of this tone curve. Now you have this L. L is just light. L's mean light. Remember that. So more light, less light. Now, not just that. Bear in mind, not just that. You can control the highlight, add more mid-tone, reduce the lower, for instance, the S-curve, the lower mid-tone, but you can add some faded by, get rid of this shadow part, the black tone. You see that the color did not change. I'm going to go closer. So color saturation did not change. But if I reset all and do the exact same thing with the lower shadow, upper mid-tone, and then lower mid-tone, leave it low down, and that. So it still have a faded look, but the red is much more brighter. Let's take a look at it. L. So let's do S-curve, the classic S-curve, without the fuzz, and lower the contrast. You see that the red became much more reddish, much more saturated. So that's a nice welcoming addition, obviously. Anything else in my thing? Let's go to another image to demonstrate other options. So we're going to do our typical edit. So clear BO plus. You have this smart lighting. Then we're going to go to our geometric. Make sure that horizon is nice and straight. Then fix our distortion with the optics correction. We have our automatic crop. Everything is easy peasy. But here's the fun part, because you have plenty of color. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I have something interesting to show you, but let's go through different things. So you obviously have your raw white balance, color space, you have this LUT grading. One thing I like about the color and black and W rendering, that, I appreciate this black and W faded, balanced, strong, and black and white neutral, and as well as the film look. For example, generic render and black and white film. For instance, you have the Fuji, Ilford, and Kodak, the popular ones. In color, I'm not sure. In color, let's see. Color positive film. Oh yeah, you have this Fuji, Estia, Provia, Ektachrome. They are very, very welcome in my opinion. But it start to get a little bit dark, so we could increase the gamma quite a bit. Right. Now let's go to local adjustment. In the local adjustment, you have your usual everything, but the hue mask. This hue mask essentially is simple. You click it, and you have this little dropper. This dropper, you drop it on, let's say, this red or this color. Immediately it picked up all the related color, and it will impact only those colors. Let me show you the effect of it with the exposure. So check it out. More, less. Obviously you will not go that crazy. Just because you have the option, you're not supposed to use it that much. Let's delete that and then show you another example. For instance, the sky. Sky is a little bit more bright. So we could, let's say it didn't pick up the whole sky though, right? So we could move around the dropper. However, you can actually make it a bit more precise with this thing. Now, what this thing in simple language, it's a fading. Fading means that if you go too concrete, let's say top and the bottom are exactly as equal, if you change the exposure, it has this ugly looking, I mean, it is not balanced. Let me show you, zooming in quite a bit. Let's check it out. See the change? It does not look nice and smooth. However, now if I go the bottom part left towards the red and the other side towards green, see, it looks nice and faded. So let me show you the change in, you see, it doesn't look unnatural. It's still unnatural because it's too extreme, but has a nice fade. So that's the bottom thing does. Bottom thing does, it gives you the nice fade when it's necessary. The top one, you pinpoint your green or your blue or whatever color you picked up, be it more precise. You see? So now it picked up the most blue available in this image. And you can go even closer, more and more and more and more, and it will be really, really precise. Well, you have this idea what it does. So hue is a fantastic tool in order to change your color with the precision, which is similar to HSL in my opinion. But the HSL, you would use the other tool like such as brush or automatic brush, and you brush the sky and it would pick up the color of this brushed area, whether it's brush, whether it's control point, whatever. My point is that it would pick up the selection within the control point or gradient or control line, etc. But this one, it picks up the hue of the global image. However, now you want to make sure that it does not, it just pick up this stair. For instance, I select the hue and I select the stair. However, I don't want this cloth. What do I do? Simple. You just take the brush, make sure the brush is big enough and brush it off the rest. That's it. Now you just have the stair. You go back to the hue and you do your change as necessary. You see, it will do just the stair without the rest of the image. Easy peasy. So that's a fantastic addition in my opinion. And in my previous video, I compared the same tool with the DaVinci Resolve, because they have the tool forever, like one of the oldest tool of the software, like last 10-15 years. It's a nice addition. It's nice to see this thing in DxO. I think the capture one has the more or less the same tool, if I remember correctly. So it's a common tool, but it's a nice addition in this software. Did I forget anything else? I think I did not forget anything else. If I do globally, you have this tone curve addition, you have the loop tool, you have, I didn't forget much. I'm going to double check before I go. Not much, still the same. Noise reduction, I use the D prime XD2S. Lens softness, obviously, retouch as usual. Overall, not much of a change, but have some nice addition. Well, pretty much that's it. If I missed anything, please do let me know in the comment section below. I would highly appreciate it, and I would also appreciate if you do some donation with my PayPal account. Helps me a lot to maintain some sort of side work apart from my regular job. I always appreciate your help. Look after yourself, and bye bye.